Chandiwala Institute of Information Technology was established in the year 1999 to run Master of Computer Applications program and is also currently running a 4-year BCA program. The institute is affiliated with Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, for awarding the degree and is approved by the All India Council of Technical Education, Ministry of HRD, Government of India. The institute is established under the aegis of Sri Banarsidas Chandiwala Seva Smarak Trust Society, a charitable society working in the field of health and education since 1952. This FDP marks the beginning of a journey aimed at enriching our skills, broadening our perspectives, and fostering innovation in the realm of education and research. The role of educators is not merely to impart knowledge, but to ignite curiosity and inspire lifelong learning. As the world evolves, so do the demands of education. New technologies, interdisciplinary approaches, and innovative pedagogical methods are reshaping the way we teach and learn. This FDP has been meticulously designed to address these changing dynamics and equips us with the tools to stay ahead in this ever evolving academic landscape. I, Sonia Batra, extend my heartfelt gratitude to the entire management of BCIIT, Dr. Ravish Sagar, Director BCIIT, and faculty and staff members for their tireless efforts in bringing this program to life. I also thank the distinguished resource persons and experts who will be sharing their insights and expertise with us over the coming days. Your guidance will undoubtedly provide us with valuable perspectives and practical knowledge that we can incorporate in our teaching and research endeavors. Let us take this opportunity not only to learn but also to connect, collaborate, and exchange ideas. Together, we can create a community of educators who are committed to excellence and innovation, fostering an environment that encourages both personal and professional growth. I urge all participants to make the most of this FDP, engage actively, ask questions, and seek clarity. Remember, the true essence of such programs lies in the application of what we learn here to enhance the lives of our students and contribute to the betterment of society. On this note, I once again welcome you all and wish you a fruitful and enriching experience. Let us embark on this journey together with enthusiasm and a commitment to continuous learning. Thank you. Now I request our worthy director, Sir Dr. Ravi Sagar, to impart a few words and declare the FDP open. Over to you, sir. Sir, you are not audible at the moment. Yes, sir, you are audible now.
Good evening, Anurag sir. I am audible, huh?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay.
I think am I
Yeah.
also? Yeah.
Now you are also.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
कैसे हैं रवि जी?
बस बढ़िया सर. So nice. आपको देखने को मिल गया. So good evening all. Respected guests, faculty members, participants and colleagues. It is a great honor to welcome you to the Atal Online 6-Stage Faculty Development Program on the role of generative AI and its application in today's era. First, I want to sincerely thank the AICT Training and Learning Atal Academy for their hard work in organizing programs like this. Their efforts are crucial in helping educators and researchers stay updated with the fast-changing world of technology. Thanks to AICT. The theme of this LCP is very relevant and exciting. Did you know that ancient Indian texts like the Veda and Mahabharata mention ideas similar to today's AI? They talked about machine like mechanical carrots, humanoid robots, and flying vehicles called Vimans. Philosophers like Bharat Muni and Brahmagupta also explored concepts related to automation and early computing. This shows that dream of creating intelligent systems has always fascinated us. Generative AI is now making this dream a reality. It is a changing industry, boosting creativity and solving complex problems. Tools like ChatGPT and other are transforming healthcare, education, business, and other arts. For educators and researchers, learning about generative AI is essential because it allows us to create personalized teaching method with AI, conduct impactful research using AI for simulation and data analysis, prepare students for the future driven by AI. Generative AI is already making an impact in many areas like healthcare, education, creativity, business, research. Over the next 6 days, I encourage you to explore these topics deeply and think about how to apply them in your work. An educator and researcher, we have a responsibility to teach students to use AI responsibly, set an example of ethical AI practices, inspire future innovators and leaders. This FDP is a great chance to learn from experts, collaborate, and discover new approaches. I sincerely thanks the BCIT faculty for their support. A special thanks to Ms. Sonia Batra and Ms. Pallavi Bhatt for their hard work in making this 6-day Atal FDP successful. Make the most of this opportunity, ask questions, share your ideas, and think creatively. Together we can use AI to build a better and fairer future. Once again, I welcome you all and wish you a productive and inspiring experience. Let us start this journey to transform education, research, and innovation with generative AI. Thanks to all. With all this, now I request Ms. Sonia to take this journey onward. Thank you. Thanks all for believing on us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Anurag Jain, the speaker for the inaugural session. Good evening, sir. Dr. Anurag Jain, an
Yeah.
academician.
Good evening, Sonia.
Good evening, sir. Dr. Anurag Jain, an academician in Guru Gobind Singh Indraprastha University, Delhi, and working as professor in University School of Information, Communication and Technology. He did his MTech from IIT Kharagpur and PhD from GGS IPU University. As a researcher, he has done remarkable work in the field of cybersecurity, cybercrime, investigation, and speech processing and NLP. He was the deputy coordinator of the team who had given cybercrime and forensic training to 200 Delhi police officers in 2007-8. And currently, he is providing his services at police training colleges to train the police officials to solve speech and AI based cybercrime cases. He has also given invited talks in various reputed conferences, training programs, colleges, and schools in India and as well as in abroad. He has also presented his paper in Australia and invited by Australian Police of Criminology. He is also guiding research scholars who are doing research in the field of cybersecurity, speech processing, and NLP, and reviewer of many international reputed journals of speech processing, like Journal of Speech Technology, Journal of Speech Communication, etc. He is also handling the research projects in financial fraud, deception detection, and to assess the vulnerability issues in various higher educational institutions of India. He has also been awarded Best Research Paper Award in nearly 9 international conferences. He also has nearly 903 citations of his research papers with I-10 index of 29 and H index is 16. I, Sonia Batra, on behalf of Banarsidas Chandiwala Institute of Information Technology, welcome you, sir, to this faculty development program.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Am I audible to every participant of this session? Please respond.
Yes, sir, you were audible. The participants
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay. The participants are muted now.
can
Okay. I just got some messages there. That's okay. Very nice.
respond.
Keep, keep mic off, ma'am, Sonia ma'am.
Yes, sir. Somebody's mic is off. They can respond in the chat window.
Yeah, sure. Now my slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay. So good evening, all. Now this is the era of AI, and we are just living in the modern era of AI, and this is known as generative AI. But still, I should say we are working on very weak AI here. Generative AI is not the, we can say, the sky. Lots of tasks has to be done beyond this generative AI as well. So generative AI is a weak AI where things are very much different from traditional AIs. Okay, so we'll discuss or we'll just interact with this generative AI. What is generative AI? What is the applications of generative AI? What are the hard drawbacks of AI and generative AI as well? Because every coin has two sides, pros and cons, positive and negative. So if there is positive things, definitely there are some negative aspects are also there. So we'll discuss about this particular part of generative AI over here. So I think I have 30-40 minutes to discuss about this generative AI because it's an introductory session. So I will not involve in the deeper knowledge about this generative AI. I will give you some overview about this generative AI. What is generative AI? What are the different parameters of generative AI, and what's the drawbacks of this generative AI here? Okay. So before starting this session, I would like to know from your side what you think about this generative AI. It is also known as Gen AI. Sonia, is it possible that participant can give the answer?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
They can
we
raise your hand.
yes, they can
Yeah.
raise their hand.
Okay. So I know from the participant side what they know about this generative AI or what they understand or what they guess about this generative AI. What they think about this new terminology. Yeah, any answer? This is the first session. This is the inauguration session. Yeah, I know that this is not a time of learning and teaching. This is leisure time. But since we are here just to understand the things, new things here, new terms here, new flips here. So please. If someone wants to give the answer. If there's issue, then you can just type on the message box also. Okay, so I got some message here. Creating Word document with help of AI has the ability to generate new samples with similar patterns. Generative AI means to generate something, generate new information, creating Word documents. Okay, and refers to a class of AI models that can generate new content such as text, image, music, even videos based on patterns learning from existing data. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so it means that you have a basic knowledge about the generative AI, what is Gen AI here. But do you know how this Gen AI works? How this Gen AI works and how that particular part of AI generates a new patterns that is similar to based on the or similar to the existing natural patterns available in your data set. Okay, so this is the technology. This is the technology where your data set will create the another data, and with the help of this data, you can create a new philosophy. This is the gist of this generative AI here. Okay. Now, in this particular generative AI, just a minute. Yeah. Slide is changed now. I'm on the next slide. It is changed.
Yes, sir. It is visible. Yes, sir.
It is visible. Okay. So generative AI is totally depends on the data. Okay. If we have a perfect data, then Gen AI is okay for you. But if you are not having a perfect data, it is having some noisy data, then Gen AI will develop or will create a different aspect to you. So now there's a new definition of data. Okay, what is data? What is a data? What could be a data?
So they are the raw facts and figures.
They are the raw facts and figures. But here in generative AI era or in this beta generation, data is not a raw fact. Data is the gold. It means that if data is not there, you cannot work on the AI. Data is everything. Gold is everything. You can purchase, you can earn from this data. So अगर आपके पास में data है and you have a large amount of data, then you can think that you have gold with you. So this gold means this is not the traditional gold things are there, but it's a gold for your education, for your technology. So gold is data is, you can say, the gold here. Okay, so it means your data or your gold should be kept in a secured manner. Nobody should take that data for creating some nuisance over there. So generative AI can play an important role to generate a perfect picture, perfect video, perfect audio, perfect text as well. And if your data is not good, your gold is not a purest form, is not having a purest form, then your data will create a bad picture, a bad video, bad audio, or it could create some nuisance over there. So everything is depend on the data. So जो आपको आजकल data free available हो रहा है, हो सकता है कुछ सालों के बाद में the data is not free. Somebody will charge to give you the data, but that data will be in perfect manner. So that's why it is known as a gold here. So everything is based on the data. So you have to think about the data, and this data is creating conversations, text, creating the stories as well, creating the images, creating the videos. Now everything is depend on the pre-trained on large amount of data. So just remind one thing: if you don't have a large amount of data, then generative AI cannot do anything for you. Today's in we just know about this deep fake problems. Have you heard about this deep fake problem?
Yes, sir.
Where the popular celebrities, or you can say the celebrities, pictures can be used or can be morphed, or their lips movement can be morphed with another person's movement, another person lip movements. So this is known as deep fake. किसी का फेस किसी के साथ में, किसी के लिप्स किसी के दूसरे के साथ में, किसी की वर्डिंग्स किसी और के फेस पर एम्बेड करके उसको यूज कर सकते हैं. So but it is only possible with the pictures when these pictures are available on the internet in very frequent manner and very voluminous manner. It is not possible that somebody will take your picture and create a generative AI and just use the generative AI over there and create some absurd things with your face there, because your photos or my photo is not available in very popular or in very voluminous manner. So this could be the issues over there. So for generative AI, you must have a voluminous data. If you are just working on the textual generation, new text generation, then there should be a textual information, so voluminous textual information on the internet. If somebody is working for the audio generations, lots of audio signals or speech signals must be there. If videos are there, images are there, then image must be available on the internet for that particular problems. So this is known as generative AI. So generative AI develop or generates new stories, new images, new videos, and new conversations there. Now this is the era, or this is the evaluation of generative AI from AI terminology. So you have already worked on the machine learning and deep learning. Now with the help of this deep learning and machine learning, the Gen AI works over there. It is now working on that particular, you can say, the technology, machine learning and deep learning. Okay. And the example of generative AI is GPT. GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformers. So these are the transformers which transform your information from one shape to the another shape there. So these are known as transformers. So there are lots of transformers are there. GPT is one of the transformer. BERT, BERT, have you heard about this? I think you have heard about this BERT technology. BERT, BERT is also there. So lots of things are there. And this GPT is based on the LLMs, large language models. Okay. Now there's a specific example of this GPT is GPT-4. Now you can just work on the GPT-40 also. So now we are working on the GPT-4 to GPT-40. And based on this GPT technology or GPT models, now you have Chat GPT in front of you, where you just type your problems, your questions, and now this Chat GPT will tell you or will give you the the possible answer of that particular problem. It could give you the code of your problems. If you just want a programming code, it will give you. If you just want to write an application and you are not aware about how to write the application, just write an application for providing the school, and the reason should be sick or my sickness. It will provide you application over there. So all things are available on this particular Chat GPT. But to which extent it is correct, it cannot be still at this moment. You cannot say whether the information which is given by this Chat GPT is correct to my extent or not. Now my correctness means, it doesn't mean that the grammar is okay there. The correctness means whether any plagiarism is there or not. So if you think about, let's write some other plagiarism software, because it is taking the information from the repositories. It is not creating the information as from its own language processor, so you can say from its language or from its intelligence. It is providing the information based on some repositories over there. It is creating some synthetic data based on some repositories over there. So you have to work on the plagiarism as well. You have to just think about the plagiarism as well over there. You cannot use with one shot all these information generated by this generative AI. So this is the problem. This could be one of the problem with the generative AI. We'll discuss about this problems of generative AI in last of the session here. Okay. Now another thing is, if I just ask you the difference between AI to generative AI, what could be your answer? There are two phases in between this AI and generative AI: machine learning and deep learning. What you think about is, what is AI, what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is generative AI? Can you give an answer in one phrase only? One phrase for each and every the technology is available in front of you in this slide. Yes. What is AI? in one line. And another about I ask a question: what is the difference between AI and machine learning? Yes. So Malki Singh is written that ML is subset of AI. Okay, is it technology, sir? Mateshwan is asking, is it technology? Which one you are asking about? Is a way of acting like human being. But the difference between ML and AI, we just always say that ML is subset of ML. Generative AI is subset of AI again. But what's the difference between these two? Why it is a subset of AI in all these things? Okay, so Varsha has said ML learns from data. Perfectly right. So there's a one thing. Machine learning means innovation which learns from data. Innovation ML means innovation which learns from data. So this is the thing. What is AI? What is AI in very short manner? What is AI? So AI is when computers act like they are thinking. Machine learning is when they learn from data to make decisions. Okay. AI is human mimic intelligence. Okay. Any other answer? AI is not human mimic intelligence because in the early era of this AI, the machines could not think as the human thinks. Okay, so AI means innovation or intelligence developed by rule only. You provide some rules to the machine, and based on those rules, some algo will generate develop over there, and with the help of that algo, your question, answer of the questions will be given by the machine there. Okay, so that's why we just think about that. It is AI is just AI is a technique or it's a methodology or it's a method which mimic the human intelligence. Okay, so this is by rule only. If rules are not there in the system, it will not give it cannot give the answer of your questions perfectly, and that's why we rely on the data there because lots of data is there. Data is just like energy, so lots of energies are there. So it means if you just collect all those data and then learn the machine with the help of this data, then your machine can give answer or can predict the future's informations based on the data. And this creates the difference between AI and machine learning here. So in both the techniques, machines is learning, but how to learn? That particular inputs are different here. So AI by rule, machine learning by data. And what about deep learning? What could be deep learning? So deep learning is learned. It's learned by error. It's learned by error. It's mimic your brain. Your brain learned by errors only. Okay. So lots of data are there, but let's suppose that data is not creating a situation where you just you have to think about new situations or you have to think about a new solution. Then your data will create the error there, and that error will be given to the input to the this deep learning model, and it will learn with that error and will give a suitable answers to you. Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, everything is okay. It's a multi-layer artificial neural network. It's a part of neural network. That's okay. But what is the general scenario about this deep learning? Why it is deep learning is there? Deep learning normally learned by your errors there. And what about the generative AI? It doesn't learn, it creates the new data. So whatever you're doing with the machine learning and deep learning, it is learned by the error, learned by the rule, learned by the data and provide you the predictions and classification of your data, classification of your situations there. But in generative AI, it generates. So it will, you can just see this information in the next slide. Now this is the slide here. So AI learning by rule, machine learning by example, deep learning by error, and generative AI create new data using very large examples here. So if you have, let's suppose I should say, if you have 1 GB data, or let's suppose I should say, if you have 20,000 or 1 lakhs data with you, data set, you have data set file over there, and that data set having a, let's suppose 1 lakh or 1 million data is there. Now this 1 million data is not known as very large data set. If you want to generate a perfect picture, perfect audio, then data should be very voluminous. It should be in terms of billions, it should be in terms of terabytes over there. So these are the data which is normally used for generation of a picture or audio or video or data or text with the help of generative AI. So this is the meaning of this generative AI. And now this picture shows you about the subsetting, the manner of this AI and generative AI. So generative AI is also part of machine learning, and machine learning is a part of your AI. So everybody knows about all this, the hierarchy picture of about this AI and generative AI. And this generative AI contains the large language model. This is known as LLM. So LLM is a subset of generative AI. Most of the scholars think that this LLM is itself a generative AI. It's not a part of a generative AI, but it's itself is a generative AI. No, it's not, because large language models are normally used for creating a new text or for new textual informations. Okay, so if you want to create a new audio, new video, new images there, then these LLM models are not very much suitable to generate all these things. But if you just want to create new textual informations, then these LLMs are important. In GPT, it totally rely on the LLMs there. It creates new textual informations. So large language models are normally used to generate the new text with the help of generative AI prediction technology. Okay. Now these are some generative AI tools. I think everybody is aware about these tools here. OpenAI tools are there, and the example of OpenAI is generative trained transformer, is known as GPT. So the recent version is GPT-40. Again, another is their Google Cloud. You can use the Gemini. It's again a text based the generative AI tool here. For Microsoft, it is Copilot. You can download from this Copilot from this. The link is given here. But all these tools are licensed versions. You can get these tools for free use for only a month there, or 2 months or 3 months. The informations are also given on this link there. You can just check and then download according to your need. But if you just want to work on the open access LLM tools, so there are only 2 tools are available which are perfectly work for this for generating and developing the LLMs according to your research, according to your need. First is Bloom. It's Bloom stands for Big Science Large Open Science Open Access Multilingual Language Mode. So it's a big science project, and it is known as Bloom there. Another one is GTPJ. It's not GPT, it's GTPJ. Okay, Aluther Al. So this is the tool. These are the tools, Bloom and GTPJ, which are normally used to transform the information from one language to another language. Now this Bloom supports 46 languages where you can get the data set according to these languages, according to your research, and you can generate a new text in different languages. So if somebody seriously wants to work on textual generative AI, then this Bloom is perfect for that person. Okay, so this Bloom, if you just want to go through with this Bloom, you can the link is given, the URL is given. You can just go through with this URL, and you can get lots of information about this Bloom generative AI tool. So this is available open access, freely available for your research purpose. Okay. Now, these are the applications of generative AI. So you can use generative AI for generation of text, and this text information can be used in marketing, sales, support, general writing, note taking, and other information, other areas where these textual informations are important. In educational field, this generative AI can be used as a for generation of new text here. But again, I just warn you, if you want to use this generative AI for textual generation, for text generation, for paper generation, for journal generation, for general paper generation, you must rely on the Turnitin or you must rely on the Plagiarism software as well. This is very, very, very important. Again, this generative AI can generate the code, programming code as well. So with the help of this Bloom, you generate 46 languages and I think 13 or 14 programming language codes over there. You can transform your code from one language, programming language to another programming language as well. So this code can also be generated with the help of generative AI. Image generations is also used for image generations, consumer, social media, for media and advertising AI field, and for designing purpose as well. Okay, so only you think you have to just give some information or input to the image generative AI applications, and it will generate a design or it will generate a picture for you. Voice synthesis, it's an application for speech. Video generation editing, it's an application of video. 3D models can also be generated with the help of generative AI, and some other areas also there where you can learn, where you can generate a music, you can generate a new emotional audio, speech file, audio over there. It can be also used in biology and chemistry for generation of new drugs. So drug discovery is now becomes an easy task. It's not so much easy, but it's become easy as compared to the manual generation of the manual process to generate the bio or you can say the drugs here, because lots of combinations are there. So with the help of this generative AI, these combinations can be checked, and if combinations is perfect, then you can generate that drug with the help of your factories or your organizations. So in biology chemistry, this generative AI is very important, is playing a very important role here. In gaming, yes, in gaming, generative AI is using in a very large scale. So all these fields are normally using generative AI as well. Now in cyber security, this generative AI plays a very important role. In blockchain, this generative AI is playing a very important role. For malware creation and malware detection, this generative AI is creating a very important role. It's developing a perfect results over here. We are also trying to just implement this generative AI for securing our network as well. The police department also trying to use this generative AI for catching the criminals. And the airports are also is planning to implement this generative AI applications or tools to recognize the faces over there. So they just take the different angles, just take the pictures of a particular face from different angles and can change according to their need and can resemble and can just match with the person whether it is that person or not. So lots of applications are already running where the generative AI is giving a perfect results. So these are the areas where this generative is using. Now in the NLP, generative AI, in 2010, we should say that the NLP is not started on 2010, but it started in 1950s as well. At that moment, we just try to work on the word labels, the syllable labels, the phoneme labels. Now with the help of generative AI, we are trying to generate the conversational models. It will generate a speaking style, the text there, a speaking style speech there, corpus there. So before that, conversational speech, to get the conversational speech it's a very difficult task. अब हम लोग क्या कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि conversational speech को हम लेके आए. It means that जिस तरह से हम लोग यहाँ बात कर रहे हैं, just think that कि robot जिसको हम यहाँ develop कर रहे हैं, that robot should be talk like us only. So this is only possible if your generative AI is capable, is much capable to create or to generate this type of language models. But again, we have to think about the clean data. We have to think about the noiseless data here. And that's a very difficult task. And these are the large LLMs. We are talking about the LLMs. If you just want to work on the text generations, then these large language models are available. Bloom, Claude, ChatGPT, GPT-4. So Bloom is now used for translation from one language to another language. Claude or ChatGPT is normally used for summarization purposes. Bard or ChatGPT again used for dialogue deliveries over there. GPT-4, Claude, Galactia, and Megatron. It is only is used for knowledge searching. Okay, so it's just like a Google search. It's for the knowledge searching. If you want to generate a content or you generate a paper there, then Mosaic and story writers are available. And for generating code, programming code, the Codex tool is available. So for LLM, you have to again think about a large data set. So गोल्ड आपके पास में काफी लेवल पे वॉल्यूमस लेवल पे होना चाहिए. अगर नहीं है तो आप शायद डेटा उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा सोचना हमारे मुश्किल हो जाएगा. So all these are the use cases of or applications of, or you can say the minor applications about this generative AI. You can use for customer service automations. You can go for the sales and production recommendations, 24/7 customer support. And lots of applications are there where you can just implement your generative AI. Okay. Now this is the picture about this generative AI in cyber security. So by 20, this data is available for 22 to 32. In 32, the market is thinking about that this generative AI can be used in different section of the security with their 100 folds informations. हो सकता है कि इससे ज्यादा हमारे इंफॉर्मेशन जो है वो यहाँ पर यूज हो सके. जो आजकल हम यहाँ पर कर रहे हैं उससे ज्यादा हमारी इंफॉर्मेशन वहां पर यूज हो, और जो नेटवर्थ होगी इस पर्टिकुलर मार्केट की, वो उसके बारे में कुछ भी कहना भी सही नहीं होगा. So it could be, अगर इसकी पिक्चर को हम बात करते हैं, so it could be escalated to 2654 USD million as compared to in 22 726 USD millions. So market cap जो है वो काफी कुछ इसका बढ़ सकता है. Now this generative AI can be used in network security, can be used in application security, cloud security, and other security types are also there, where you can say the malware generations, malware security is also there. Your DOS services are also there. So for that particular part, this generative AI can be used here. Now there are 8 areas where this generative AI can be used under the cyber security: predictive analysis, prediction of the vulnerabilities, prediction of unknown attacks, phishing detection and preventions, to detect and to prevent from the phishing attack, automated security patch generations, generating the patches which are normally generated by the Microsoft, let's suppose for Windows systems, it is a manual generation of patches there. But as soon as the machine system will get a new virus or new attack, it will generate a new patch automatically, and it will send you as early as possible with the help of generative AI. Adaptive threat detection. As soon as you just get a new threat, you will get a patch or you will get a anti-system for that particular threat also. Enhanced biometric based on the collaboration of different biometric technologies. So your iris, your finger, your face can be hybrid and can create a new biometric for you. This is the thing. Okay. Sometimes what happens, normally people ask, sir, I registered my face, a clean shaped face for biometric systems, but now it is not identifying me because I am now little bit beard on my face. और मेरी दाढ़ी जो है वो काफी बड़ी हुई है तो मुझे ये यूज नहीं करने दे रहा, बायोमेट्रिक यूज नहीं करने दे रहा. So this type of issues can be resolved with the help of this generative AI. So once this particular system will take your picture, now that picture can be used by many ways, without beard, with beard, without beard. Let's suppose you have your face got hurted by some accidents there. then what could be the probable face coordinates over there. So इस तरह के जो issues हैं वो हमारे generative AI से उसको हम यहाँ पर tackle कर सकते हैं. The anomaly detections. Sometimes a traditional machine learning techniques identify a data as anomaly, it's abnormal data, but it is not abnormal data. So that part of the problems can be resolved by this generative AI. Threat simulation and training, how to simulate the threat and how to provide the training for that particular threat, because each and every organizations have different scenarios. So threat could be different for each and every organizations. अगर आप security organizations run कर रहे हैं, threats could be different for that particular organization. अगर आप manufacturing organizations or company or factories को आप handle कर रहे हैं, threat could be different there. If you are just working on some educational organizations, then threat will be different there. Okay, so if threats are different, then training should be different. Their remedy should be different. Now, what could be the probable remedies or training for that particular situation or for the particular factory or organization? The generative AI will give you a perfect picture there. And the last is malware generation analysis. How to generate a perfect malware and how to analyze a malware. Okay, so I think that if you want to create a perfect anti-malware program or antivirus program, anti-spyware programs, then first of all, you have to generate a malware. You must be aware about how to generate a malware, how to generate a spyware, how to generate a virus. If you know the technique, how to generate all these things, then you can generate a anti-malware or antivirus or anti-spyware software there. So you have to generate a malware and then analyze that malware. What is the problem there? What is the advantage there? And how can be generated? How different malware can be generated within no time with the help of generative AI. So these are the areas where your generative AI can play an important role. But again, the thing is, if you are working for the law enforcement agencies in positive manner, some other person can use these techniques for their destructive manners also. Okay, so for that we have to just think about whether the generative AI is perfect for our population or not. So that's why we have some harmful issues about this generative AI. The first is misuse and malicious applications. The person can create a malicious applications there and can misuse this technology for creating some the malicious activities. Erosion of human creativity, job displacement, bias and discrimination, dependence on data quality, ethical concerns in content creation, impact on learning and skill development, accessibility and digital divide, security vulnerabilities, and last is environmental impact. So these 10 points are there where this generative AI can be harmful. So what is misuse and malicious applications? As I told you, generative AI is good for the, it is also at disadvantage, it is also harmful for the population as well. So if somebody has created deep facts there and floated on the social media, now the non-technical savvy population will rely on that particular pictures and particular videos and can create some havocs there. And it is now happening. It's very difficult to get understand by those people population whether this picture, this video is genuine, is real, or it's a fake one. So this is the problem. So now research is going on to discriminate between these type of pictures or videos, and sometimes where research is also going on to understand the difference between the machine generated text and human generated text also. So there are
Excuse
the
me, sir.
problems with. हाँ जी बताइए.
Sir, एक query है कि can you just switch to slideshow mode?
Stop it. Yeah. Now is it visible in slide mode?
Visible, sir, now. Thank you so much.
Sorry, I was forgotten just to make it invisible this slide mode. So, okay, so these deepfakes are the videos where the faces can be superimposed onto other bodies as well. So this type of problems could be there with the help of generative AI, and this is the harm, or this is the harm situation of using these type of pictures for others. So this is the problem. Now erosion of human creativity, not it is also happening in our field, in this educational field. When you just give some assignments to the students, rather to give ample time to solve those problems or those assignments, what they do, they go to the chat GPT, write the question, assignment question, and get the answer from there. No human creativity is there. So human creativity is not getting deleted by their minds. This is the problem. Now AI generated paintings are also there. Handmade paintings is available, but AI generated paintings are also there. Now it's very difficult to distinguish between AI generated painting and handmade paintings. So if let's suppose if we just get a painting, what rupees? Let's suppose 1 million, 1 million. Now you don't know whether it is a handmade painting or it's an AI generated. तो जो पेंटिंग 100-200 रुपए में बन रही है वही आपको 1 लाख 2 लाख रुपए में मिल रही है because you are thinking you are just you have just given information that this is the handmade painting. There's a Madhubani handmade Madhubani there. So it means the population or the customers are also not getting the perfect results for not getting the perfect answer about that type of problems, and even the human artistic efforts जो हैं वो भी आपके यहाँ पर devalued हो रहे हैं, तो आप devalued कर रहे हैं क्योंकि जो पेंटर जो आर्टिस्ट है वो भी ये सोचेगा कि यार क्यों मैं पेंटिंग बनाऊं जब हमारे पास में एआई जनरेटेड पिक्चर्स अवेलेबल हैं तो बनाने की जरूरत ही नहीं है जस्ट गिव द इनपुट टू दैट जनरेटिव एआई टूल्स एंड विल गेट अ परफेक्ट पिक्चर देयर so this type of problems are there so it's a erosion of human creativity job displacement because if everything is automated and it's the new things can be evaluated can be generated with the help of this generative AI there's no need of the manpower there if you don't want to create if you don't want to create a perfect or it's a genuine information there then generative AI is very much useful to you so this is the problem okay so nowadays what happens in the companies there you know about the Java language but your boss says that we don't need Java code we need some let's suppose we need a Python code so either you learned Python or you learned generative AI and to learn the generative AI is easier than learning a new language. So what you do, learn about generative AI, give the input of any code in the which is written in Java language, convert it in Python language, and run that particular code, Python language code, and then give the answers to your boss there. So it's very simple. Your life become very easy there. So this is a problem. Then bias and discrimination. So as I told you in the very first slide that everything in generative AI totally depends on the data. If data is biased, then you will not get the information according to your need. So the system which is trained on the data, the system that particular system will give you the answer only based on those data. So if data is unbalanced, if data is biased, then you will not get a perfect answer. This is the problem. So if training data is biased, then generative AI can perpetuate and amplify existing biases and discrimination in the training data as well. So this is the problem. Okay, let's ask you one question. Who is the captain of national cricket team? The captain of national cricket team. Please give the answer of this query. Okay, I think in chat lots of answers are coming out here. Yeah, okay. So Abhishek Kumar has asked male, female, Praveen Kumar Singh, Rohit Sharma, very nice. Abhishek Kumar, Rohit Sharma, male, and Kalani, Rohit Sharma, Rohit. Then Rohit Sharma for ODI. Harmanpreet Kaur, Kalani has given the answer. Harmanpreet Kaur, Rohit Sharma, Tali Raj. Very nice, very nice. Now my intention to ask this question is not getting the correct answer, but my intention was how many of you will ask, sir, which national Indian cricket team? It's a man or it's woman? So सिर्फ एक आंसर मुझे यहाँ पे मिला मैन वुमेन जिसने पूछा फर्स्ट कोई आंसर शायद वो था तो उसके बाद आउट ऑफ 7 or 8 आंसर्स रोहित शर्मा वाज द आंसर और द मेल इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम कैप्टन वाज गिवन as answer here and 1 and 2 persons are given answer about this captain of the national women in cricket team. The problem, this is the biasing here. This is the biasing. Only one person has asked me, sir, कौन सी क्रिकेट टीम की आप बात कर रहे हैं? So अगर डेटा सही नहीं होगा तो इस तरह के आंसर्स हमें मिलेंगे. And same question if I ask, is this generative AI chatbots there? तो I think इसी तरह का आंसर हमें वहां पर मिलेगा. This is the problem. क्योंकि हमारे सामने जो मैन टीम है उसके डेटा ज्यादा है, उसके चाहने वाले ज्यादा हैं, तो डेटा इज बायस्ड हियर, डेटा इज डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव डेटा इज अवेलेबल हियर एंड दिस इज नोन एज बायस. सो इस तरह के इश्यूज जो हैं वो हमारे प्रॉब्लम्स आ सकते हैं जब हम लोग इस तरह के डेटा को यूज करेंगे जनरेटिव एआई में. सो इट मे रिफ्लेक्ट जेंडर और रेशियल बायसेस leading to unfair or harmful representations. This is the problem. So the challenge of ensuring fair and unbiased AI-generated content is a major concern. So that's why I'm asking again and again, please use unbiased and undiscriminated data over here. Your data set must be balanced. It should not be biased. Then dependence on data quality. Okay, your data is not biased, but data is not clean. Lots of noise are there. Quality is not good. Limited data is there. Poor data is there. It can lead to inaccurate or non-essential outputs there. So that was the problem. So it means you have to think broader aspects of this data. You have to create the data according to your need. You have to clean your data according to your need. ऐसा भी ना हो कि आपने डेटा को क्लीन किया बट जो आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए थी वो इन्फॉर्मेशन आपको नहीं मिल रही, क्योंकि उस डेटा से जब क्लीन कर रहे हैं उस डेटा से वो इन्फॉर्मेशन यहाँ पर डिलीट हो गई. That information is very much required to you also. So that's why your data should be clean. It should be quality data and it should be unbiased data as well. Then ethical concerns. As I just suggested you, use any plagiarism software to check whether the outcome of the generative AI is according to your need or not. So there's a lots of ethical concerns are there. And ये जो प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा होती हैं वो आपके जो प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं टेक्सचुअल इंफॉर्मेशंस में और इमेज इंफॉर्मेशंस में. The image which is normally generated by this generative AI can also be generated by other person also, and that person having a copyright of that image. Now you are using that image to your need. Now there's ethical concerns. You may be in trouble there. So you have to think about the ethical concerns of the content which is generated by this generative AI. And the second last is impact on learning and skill development. Naturally, अगर आप यूज नहीं करेंगे अपने माइंड को तो जो थिंकिंग पावर है वो आपकी यहाँ पे उस पर इफेक्ट आएगा, जो आपके स्किल्स हैं वो उस पर इफेक्ट आएगा. इफ यू नॉट गेटिंग a perfect things, if you're not getting a perfect platform to generate the pictures using a generative AI, then at that situation you will be helpless. This is the problem, and the problem is with the generative AI is that it requires a very power consumption platform there. Lots of carbon emissions are there because अगर आप ऐसे मशीन पर यूज करते हैं जहां पावर कंजम्पशन ज्यादा हो रहा है तो ये कार्बन एमिट करेगा. So this type of information, this type of technology or this type of platforms, maybe it might possible that कुछ कंट्रीज इस तरह के प्लेटफॉर्म्स आपको ना मिले, तो वहां पर आप जनरेटिव एआई को यूज करना थोड़ा सा आपको मुश्किल होगा. So that's the problem. Okay, so अगर आप डेवलप, then you may be in bad situation in that country where this generative AI is not preferable. That's the problem. Now, accessibility and digital divide. High quality AI tools often require significant computational resources and expertise, making them inaccessible to many individuals and small organizations. It means that now this generative AI can become the property of high organizations there, or you can say that's large capital organizations of the country. It cannot be used by the individuals. It cannot be used by the small organizations because of heavy computational resources are required, because of heavy financial burdens could be there. So these AI tools cannot be used by those type of companies and those type of individuals there. तो हो सकता है कि आप जो रेस है उस रेस में पीछे रह जाए. So this is the problems with the generative AI, and that's why we get very few generative AI tools, and those tools are very it's developed by a very you can say the very large companies like Google, Microsoft. These are the companies there which are normally generating or developing these type of tools there. And security vulnerabilities could also be there. It is not certified that the generative AI tools which you are using are not having security vulnerabilities. If you are using Chat GPT, it might be the possibility could be there that this Chat GPT, once you install in your system or in your mobile phones, can access your personal informations to use for their future issues. This could be a problem because हो सकता है कि आपका जनरेटिव एआई एक अच्छे टूल के आड़ में एक ऐसा टूल आपने अपने ऐप में इंस्टॉल कर लिया जो मेलवेयर की तरह काम कर रहा हो. It is giving you an answer. That's okay. That's good. But in background, that particular software or application app is not snatching your information, vital information from your mobile phones or from your laptops there. It is also possible because that particular generative AI tool wants to know about your interest as well. If you ask the question with this generative AI, please tell me my interest. Where should I go in near future? Which one is a good picnic spot for me? Now, these are the questions, these are personal questions you are asking with the generative AI. And generative AI has no answer about this type of questions. So what the company will do? They will get the information from your laptop, they will get the information from your mobile phones, and with the help of those informations, now the generative AI tools will give you answer of your answer of your query. और आप क्या करेंगे? आप उसमें खुश हो जाएंगे, अरे इसने तो ये आंसर भी दे दिया. But you know these answers are came from your data only, which is personal to you. So this type of challenges are there, and you have to think about these challenges before using your generative AI tools there in your machine. The last slide is environmental impact. I just told you a lot of carbon emission could be there, lots of environmental degradations could be there, energy consumption are very huge over there. और इसी वजह से अगर मैं कहूँ ब्लॉकचेन या जो डेटा माइनिंग है, हम जो उसकी हम लोग क्रिप्टो करेंसी माइनिंग होती है, वो हमारे कंट्री में बहुत कम होती है एज कम्पेयर टू चाइना और अदर कंट्रीज देयर. क्योंकि जो पावर कंजम्पशन की बात, हम एनर्जी कंजम्पशन की बात कर रहे हैं, शायद उतना हमारे लिए नहीं, इतना हमारे मतलब कहें तो हमारे कैपेबिलिटी नहीं है कि हम उतना इसको यूज कर सके. एंड सेम थिंग हैपेंस विद दिस जनरेटिव एआई टूल्स आल्सो. So to train your environment and running large scale generative AI models is a growing concern here. So these are some harm or drawbacks of this generative AI or some limitation about this generative AI here. So with this slide, I just conclude my presentation here. And if you have any questions regarding this generative AI, this uses, their disadvantages, you can ask.
Anyone with any query, you can just raise up your hand.
Yeah, any question?
Any questions? Thank you so much, sir.
One question I just put in front
Yes.
of how Gen AI can replace us and how much time have? Actually, Nikunji, the answer is it is very much possible right now to replace the human beings by this because we are just working on we have three AI eras there: the weak AI, the stronger the strong AI, and super strong AI. You can say. So we are still running on the weaker section of this AI. It is because we are not able to incorporate the emotions in this generative AI tools there. If we just want that robots should must have some emotions there, so it is very much still it is in research field. So lots of things are there. It cannot think about it. The one the example I can just give you that the generative AI tool. Let's suppose if I just ask about talk about this Chat GPT, it will generate the text there. It cannot run generate the images there. It cannot generate the video there. It cannot generate the audio there. But what about a human being? Human being can generate everything. एक ही ह्यूमन जो है वो टेक्स्ट भी जनरेट वो पेपर वो जर्नल भी लिख रहा है वो इमेजेस भी क्रिएट कर रहा है वो वीडियोस भी क्रिएट वो वीडियो एडिटिंग भी कर रहा है एंड दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल राइट नाउ डेज विद द हेल्प ऑफ जनरेटिव एआई सो देयर अ different generative AI tools are there for different type of medias there. So this is the problems there. Okay, somebody else has Komal has mentioned that now ChatGPT can generate images. Yes, definitely, but it's a very budding point. It's a very budding phase. You are not getting a images which is very much informative to you or very much useful to you also. Can generative AI use in time series predictions problem? What is the meaning of time series predictions? Okay, weather data set. It's a prediction only. It's a prediction. Yes, it is possible, but again, you need the huge or voluminous data set there. It is also always possible. Okay, so this is the textual informations over there. It is always possible that generative AI can generate a data which could be perfect for future information there. Okay, so data अब जैसे मैं बात करता हूँ डेटा शुड बी क्लीन इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि वेदर फोरकास्टिंग की मैं बात करूँ तो जो डेटा अवेलेबल है मेट्रोलॉजिकल डिपार्टमेंट के पास में वही डेटा यहाँ पे यूज किया जाएगा अब उस डेटा का कुछ प्रेडिक्शंस ठीक है कुछ नहीं है तो इफ यू जस्ट ट्रेन योर जनरेटिव डेटा विद द हेल्प ऑफ दोस डेटा ओनली so the output would be like that only. If you have 99% perfect data, then definitely generative AI will give you the answers in very perfect manner. Else it will give you some hazard or it will give you some guessing there, and maybe sometimes those data is not the predicted data cannot be a correct one there. So, but yes, it is possible. Okay, and what is generative AI and GANs there? Yeah, GANs means is generative adversarial networks there. Again, this GANs is also used for generating the superficial or artificial data there. There's a difference between Gen AI. GANs is a subset of you can say generative AI, just like your LLMs. Generative AI can generate your images and videos there, but GANs is majorly used for your textual informations. Okay, NLP is also for textual information. It's a part. It is used in the generative AI. तो डीप लर्निंग को आप जैसे यूज करते हैं वैसे ही आपका जनरेटिव एआई में डीप लर्निंग का वो जो सुपरफिशियल मॉडल्स हैं जो और इसके सोफिस्टिकेटेड मॉडल्स हैं उनको नॉर्मली यहाँ पे यूज किया जाता है
Sir, we will note and let you know.
Sorry, I am not able to just
We
Your
will
voice
note
little
the,
bit. Yeah.
we will note the question and we will let you know.
Okay, okay, okay.
Alright, sir. So, because
ठीक
next speaker is ready and we are getting busy. Sorry,
ठीक है
sir. Sorry.
Okay, no issue, no issue. I will be always happy if the participant asks the question.
Ji, sir.
If time limits, then definitely just note down the question.
Yeah, that's why, sir. That's why. That's why.
Okay, no issue.
Sir, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thanks
so
a
much,
lot.
sir.
Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you so much, sir, for your knowledgeable session. Thanks a lot for sparing your valuable time for us. Thank
So
you
I
so
think,
much.
yeah, I think you are just running only one station and FA.
No, sir. Two sessions
Sir,
minimum. And today we schedule three sessions.
अच्छा अच्छा चलिए.
That's why, sir.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank
Thank,
you, sir. Thanks, Sonia, and thanks to all participants.
thank you, sir.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now let me introduce our next speaker for the day, Dr. Kavita Papreja. She is an associate professor at Lal Bahadur Shastri Institute of Management, Delhi. She has done her PhD in the field of data mining for weather forecasting from BITS Pilani, MS from BITS Pilani, and BE from IETE New Delhi. She is a strong education professional with a demonstrated history of over 24 years working in the higher education industry and over 5 years working for IT and telecom sector for USA multinational and Indian organizations. She is a dynamic, result oriented, and continuous learner with a goal to contribute to cutting edge research and foster environment for innovation and learning. Her research interests are AI, data analytics, data science, and machine learning. She has authored 5 books and more than 70 research papers in SCI Web of Science corpus listed in ABDC. She has conducted many hands on sessions on machine learning using Python, R during faculty development programs or workshops at the national level short-term training program sponsored by AICT. I welcome you, ma'am, for the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Sonia, for the wonderful introduction. And so
Ma'am.
after this, I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, sure. So it was a wonderful session by Dr. Anurag, and he has given a gist of the entire, I would say, generative AI, uh, which I think would be covered in due course of the FDP of 1 week. So I would like to link up my talk right from the point where he has left. There was a query related to how this generative AI can it be used for time series forecasting. Since my PhD is in the field of data mining for weather forecast, I worked rigorously on the data sets which were produced by the supercomputers of Indian Meteorological Department. So I worked on the real data sets. So see, I would say generative AI cannot be just directly used to make the prediction of weather, but of course you can make use of it to generate the code for you in Python. And step by step you can proceed. And of course your intervention is very much required because the data set won't be in the shape and form that a particular, I would say, GenAI tool like ChatGPT or maybe Gemini can understand. So you need to convert the data set file which are in netcdf or maybe grid format or grib format to a particular format where your Python code can understand. And then of course you can fine tune, you get the data pre-processing done, and then you select the model. Then step by step you can make use of Python in order to generate the code, and then you stitch the code together to generate the complete end-to-end solution. So in a way, I would say you can make use of deep learning, where you can make use of LSTM model for time series prediction. So time series prediction using deep learning with the help of getting the code being generated by ChatGPT, yes, that can be very much done. You can also make use of Arima, Sarima, things like that. And then, of course, I am very confident, very much confident that if you make use of the tools that are LSTM, RNN kind of technologies which are deep learning based technology, if you make use of those, you will definitely be getting much more better accuracy in terms of the coefficient of determination for time series forecasting. I hope I have answered that question. And then there was also something actually, anyways, I think better I start from my particular talk. So I'm sharing my screen. I hope my PPT is visible.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible.
Right. So the topic is generative AI and its development. So I would say some part of it would be a kind of overlap that has been already discussed about. So I will go as per the flow which is there when I talk about the development of generative AI right from the beginning, the historical time, the way it's all started. So first of all, as you all are aware, what is generative AI? It is again a kind of AI, but when we use the word generative, that means I am generating the content every time when I put forward a query. So when I generate the content, that means every time it is going to be different. You must have observed ChatGPT or maybe any other tool for that matter, maybe it Gemini. They all give you a different answer whenever you uh, give the same query. The reason behind that is it is generative in nature. So what is happening is, suppose it is creating a sentence for you. Say, for example, the cat is sleeping on, then dash. So the word to be filled in there would be picked up from a variety of words. So every word there would have a particular probability, and then there is going to be a randomness also. It's not that just the highest priority word would be picked up, or there may be more than one words having the same kind of priority. So this the reason behind getting the content being generated every time fresh is this. And also, if you want this probabilistic model to be converted into deterministic, that means you are looking forward to the content which is same every time. That option is also there. For that purpose, there is something called as an argument called as temperature. So if you modify the value of the temperature argument, then that means you are fine tuning the algorithm which is working behind your chat GPT. So you want the same result to be produced every time. That option is also there. So that means in that case you are now playing around with the generative nature of your particular uh, software. Okay, so now the historical background of generative AI is it all started right from the year 1940s, when there was this Alan Turing test we all are aware of. This test was such that when somebody is asking questions and he doesn't know who is answering those questions, he get confused whether a computer is answering those questions or actually there's a human being behind the screen. So if the person is failing to find out, in that case we say yes, the AI has won. So this is how it all started with in the year 1940. And then there was also something called as symbolic AI, where it was a system where it was replicating a human problem solving through symbolic reasoning. Symbolic reasoning, when we talk about that, means we talk about some rule based systems where a set of predefined rules are being used to generate the answers, and this knowledge corresponding to different rules, as we have seen decision tree kind of rules. If a particular I would say we have in any rule we have antecedent and then we have precedent also. So in that case we can say that if something is a cause, something is causing some result, So the if part is stored, and we are able to get the then part in the form of some explicit knowledge which is being available there in the systems. So this all started in the year 1940. Then 1960s onwards, this was the rise of machine learning. Machine learning, as we all know, machine learning is the mechanism where we say the machine is learning from the data. So the data is such that we do not have anything explicitly marked as input and explicitly marked as output. Suppose we all know there are two categories of machine learning, broadly two categories, though we have four categories in all. We have supervised, unsupervised, semi-supervised, and reinforcement machine learning. So broadly, we say it is supervised and unsupervised. Supervised, we know clearly, we know there is some input and then there is some output, which is the scenario with linear regression or decision tree. And then when we talk about unsupervised, we have just data and data. What we want the data to be divided into, uh, you can say, clusters or groups, and within the cluster these are similar to each other. We say intra cluster the content is similar, and inter cluster they are different. So now when I talk about machine learning algorithm, we use the word machine learning because in this scenario we do not have the traditional programming styles. In case of traditional programming, what we have is we have some input, we know the process to be applied. That means we know I want to find out the average of some numbers. So, okay, I know the process to be applied and then I get the output. But in case of machine learning, what I have is just data and data. The purpose of the machine learning software or algorithm is to learn from the data so that it is able to extract some hidden knowledge from that. So that is how the machine learning algorithms, they all came into picture in the year 1960 to 1980s. So we also had the neural networks at that point of time. The neural networks, they were used for classification as well as regression kind of scenario. These neural networks, they had a very high accuracy, but then they were used as black box only. You provide some input, you have some hidden layers where there are some weights and biases. The output is fed back, it is feed forward back propagation network. So the weights and biases are adjusted so that you are able to get the accurate output. So this all also happened from the year 1960 to 1980. Then there were some issues, we used to call it as AI winter. AI winter means it was a lean period because when we use the word winter, that means there was some stagnation and slowdown. So the expectation was very high that now since we have these MLs, algorithms and all, and everything would be possible. No, these were all bold claims. So they highlighted that this is not the time that the technology is so mature. So it was called as AI winter because we use these terms in West. Whenever we say winter, that means there is some slowdown, there is some stagnation. So next came these deep learning networks, which were again, you can say, an upgraded version of ANNs. Since in case of artificial neural network, the number of hidden layer is less. When we talk about deep learning, it was the network where we had more number of hidden layers. And then deep learning, it also had the flavors of NLP and sorry, not NLP. This deep learning, it was capable enough to do this time series prediction with the help of recurrent neural network. So within RNN, there was LSTM and then other flavors also, which were used for time series prediction. So for these deep learning algorithms to work, the machine was required to be very powerful, and the data requirement was also huge. So I would say more amount of data was required, and then in terms of processing power, the GPUs, the graphical processing unit, they were used so that uh, good quality result can be uh, generated. Now, so these were the systems like IBM's Deep Blue and Watson 2011. They demonstrated the AI ability to outperform humans in specific tasks. So this was the era when this AI and generative AI, they were able to now overtake the human beings' capabilities. Next came these generative models. Now, these generative models, as it was discussed in Dr. Jan's PPT as well, that there are two flavors to it. One is generative adversarial network, which is called as GAN. Other is variational autoencoder. So now, these generative adversarial network, the idea of this was that there is a generator and then there is a discriminator. The generator is such which, you see, these two work hand in hand. So when we say we are using a GAN, so suppose I talk about and I take an example where GAN is being used for the purpose of generating a particular image. It's a, I would say, an image which you may feel that it is being generated by an artist. So generator is going to create a fake data. The discriminator is going to detect whether this data looks like real or not. And then it gives its feedback. So they both are competing. The discriminator gives the feedback, then generator improves. Again, discriminator senses what is the difference between the generated image and what could have been the real image. So in this process, they are competing in a kind of game, and then a better fake, you can say, image gets generated. So generator is going to start from a rough image, or you can say unrealistic kind of image. That discriminator is going to take the responsibility of identification of the fake part of the image. So this is how the these things like deep fakes, they are making use of the GANs. So the GANs, these, they revolutionized the image generation by pitting two networks called as generator and discriminator in order to give the realistic output. I hope this is understandable. Shall I check the chat box? I have not checked so far if there is any query or anything. Or maybe the coordinator, whosoever, they can please let me know if there is anything in the chat box. Because looking into both together is a problem.
Sure,
All
ma'am.
right. Okay.
Sure. Just let you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So then there was another kind of network which came. It was also a generative model. It was called as variational encoder. They enabled the generation of new data point by learning the probabilistic representation of the input data. So the concept here was you take some complex input data. For example, you have a photograph and then you compress it into a simpler form. That means you are doing a kind of summarization. So when you do the summarization, you are retaining the important features. It is just like you do the feature selection in your machine learning, where you get hold of the features which are important enough to, or you can say which are important to contribute towards the output class, say for example. So the features which are important enough to summarize the important aspect of a particular photograph, those particular features are captured. Then some variation, or you can say some randomness, is added into those compressed features. And after adding that, what is being done is a new simplified image is created. So we call this as a recreated, or you can say generated data which is made. So now this particular VAE, what is it is doing is it is taking the simplified probabilistic representation and decoding it to recreate the original data or generate the entirely new data point. So in a way, it is adding some randomness. It is uh, after adding this, it is generating some more diverse realistic image. Say for example, you ask a particular image generation tool, say for example, DALI, to make to show you a cat wearing a hat. I'll just show you. I have just logged in into my this account. I think this is visible to you. I have written a cat wearing a hat. So it has generated two images here for me. I hope it is visible.
Yes, ma'am, visible.
Okay, now suppose I say a cat wearing a maybe goggles. Let me try. How does it respond? Or maybe sunglasses, wearing sunglasses. So it understands and then it is able to generate. So these are the characteristics actually of different types of image generation tools. Here under you can see it is generated too. So this is OpenArt DALI actually. There are various such tools available in the market. And I mean, of course, these artists they are using these days. And again, it is a threat for, I mean, the real artists who used to do this designing using their hands. And one more thing, it is not very difficult to identify whether an image is AI generated or not. There are tools and mechanisms even for that.
Ma'am, there is one question
Yes, please.
that how autoencoder are different from variational encoder.
How auto encoders
Yes.
are
They are
different
different
from
from,
variational.
yes, variational and autoencoders.
See, variational would be adding more randomness. That is what I can say. But again, it's a field of more, I mean, research when you get into more of image generation kind of things. But when I say variational, it is going to adding more randomness. Okay, so next we move forward to 2020s when generative AI was, rather I would say 2022 November when this chat GPT was launched. So this was a time when transformers and pre-trained models they came into picture. Actually, DALI is coming here, which I showed you there. This is 2020s onwards, that demo that I showed you. So these are the models which are generative pre-trained transformers. They brought generative AI into mainstream, and these applications are again content creation. Then you also have when I talk about chat things like chat GPT, then we have the customer service chatbots, personalized recommendations, drug discovery, and more. There are many use cases. In fact, there are HR interviews being taken by these generated, I would say, human beings faces. You can't even make out very it is very difficult for you to spot whether if you are giving an interview online, the person who is taking your interview is actually a human being or an image that does not even exist, that it is not an image of a person who exists on this earth. And that particular, I would say, generative AI tool which they are using, it is able to understand your answers and it is able to generate the next question in a stitched form. It is not broken. So it is not a kind of, I would say, chatbot, where chatbot is something which is programmed on a predefined set of questions. I mean, when you interact with chatbot, you must have seen on various websites or maybe these apps. I have the app for maybe uh, say for example Amazon, or maybe I have the customer service kind of apps where if I try to get answer for my particular question, I feel that it is not able to handle my question because it is not being programmed to understand those words that I am using. It is being programmed only for a specific set of questions. So it is having a limited programming. But when we talk about these HR interviews being taken by generative AI tools. In that scenario, what is happening is it is able to generate the next question based on the response given by you, and it is also able to give you the score by understanding the facial expressions of yours. It can also judge your confidence that it is able to see which is being reflected from your face. This is actually truly happening in the market. There are companies who are handling this. Also, I attended a particular conference where they demonstrated that in hotels they are using these generative AI based, I would say, attendants. You give call to room service and you tell them, okay, I want to place order for my breakfast and I am a vegetarian. And then you ask, can you serve me a red meat? It will immediately tell you that you have told me you are a vegetarian and now you are asking for red meat based sandwich, something like that. So these are the tools which are really in place. They are in market and they are actually going to, I would say, reduce the number of jobs. But again, there would be jobs for those who know AI well. It's not that job would be, reduced. The job would be there for those who know these technologies well. So there are a lot of, applications available for Gen AI tools. Right. So then there are these low code, no code platforms which are accessible to non-programmers. So the benefit of this is, of course, people, not everybody would be well versed with Python or maybe R language or other machine learning types of languages. So there are low code, no code platforms available, like Orange is available. There are many more also. But then again, these are paid. There is something called as I'm just forgetting. It's Altrius, something AI. There are tools where you can uh, get your work done, but then you have to pay for that if you want some special services. This free of cost account, it is very limited in nature. See, the researcher, they try to get the crafts and EDA being done. So that can be done, but you don't have that much power of tuning the outputs which it generates for you. If you want it to be tuned as per your choice, then you need to buy the software. So, anyways, coming on back to the track. So, these are the various key characteristics of generative AI. This, I think, most of this has been discussed in some, I would say, formal, informal way. The first one is related to um, business, which is the yellow quadrant, where we talk about the accountability, transparency, fairness, and inclusiveness. So we say that the results generated by generative AI, whosoever business uses that, they should be held accountable for that. So we have to ensure that the use of AI should be responsible enough with clear ownership of the outcome being generated by the tool. Then, when we say transparency, that means the AI process and decisions should be understandable, explainable in a transparent manner. When we talk about fairness, as Dr. Jain also explained, that we have to ensure that the biases should be mitigated. So most of the time generative AI tool would not be biased. But again, see, whichever AI tool we are using, or whichever machine learning, I would say, program we are using, we say we are making the machine learn on the data. So if it is actually, in a way, we say it is garbage in, garbage out. If I'm giving the data which is biased, it is going to be trained on the biased data. So if the data is such which is biased, the machine also is going to give me the biased result. Right? So in that case, suppose the biasness is such that I have, suppose I talk about some classification kind of situation where I have the output class where the class is, I would say, it is imbalanced data. I have 80% of the records falling in one class, 20% in another class. So it is my responsibility to do the balancing. Either I go for undersampling, I go for oversampling, and then I apply my algorithm. Yeah. Any doubt? Okay. So then this these systems should be designed that they take care of inclusiveness. That means the diverse users' need should be included. And it should not be excluding the needs of some society, some part of the people who use it. So next is the technology perspective. When we talk about technology perspective, then we say this particular characteristics of generative AI is focusing on the AI large language
विनोद,
model.
थोड़ा सा चैट विंडो का ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा.
Yes, please.
ठीक है.
Is there anything in the window? Shall I check? No, I don't think so.
जी हाँ जी. हाँ जी. No question.
Yeah, Sonia ma'am, please let me know the time also, like how much time do I have for this thing, na?
Ma'am, you can wind up till 8 o'clock, 8:10, if possible.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I was talking about this technology quadrant. This technology quadrant is basically talking about utilization of, I mean, basically what all technologies are being used when we talk about generative AI. It uses LLMs, then it uses huge amount of data, then it uses the AI infrastructure, which includes the hardware, then it uses the uh, enterprise object model. That means you have to have the data which is being structured and it is aligned as per the need and objective of the enterprise, the organization. Then you would be needing the huge, I would say, cloud also. See, when we run a particular chat GPT query, then there are a lot of GPUs which are being used in order to give you the result, and it accesses huge amount of data at the back end. So it is really surprising to note that the carbon footprint of running just one query is 4.3 grams of CO2, carbon dioxide, being generated per query. That much CO2 is emitted for giving you just the result of your one query. So when we are using so much of generative AI, we are using it in such an, I would say, a casual way, but we are adding towards the carbon footprint too much. It is really too much. But this is happening and everybody is doing it unknowingly. Nobody is making us aware, and we all are getting so much dependent on the things like ChatGPT and other generative AI tools that our lives are now, becoming less of creative. Every time we simply, whatever question we have, we simply type, we write that prompt, and then we get the answer. Okay, so next is about the foundation model, where we say we are leveraging this pre-trained model to customize to our specific business, or I would say any kind of requirement that is there in our mind. And then from technology perspective, again, prompt engineering is very important. If you are not able to rightly give the prompt, you won't be able to get the answer correctly. Next quadrant is about the process, which is another characteristic of generative AI. So when we talk about process, we say we have to design AI solutions which work across various platforms. So implementation should not be a problem, be it any kind of machine. It can be an Apple machine, it can be any other uh, Windows or any other kind of operating system, any Android phone, anything. It should be implementation independent. Then data lifecycle management, that means it should be able to handle the data from a wide variety of data. And you must have seen that now we can upload an image and I can ask, okay, simply interpret this image for me. So it is able to take care of the data. And then data lifecycle means when you are uploading the data, this generative AI tool should ensure that my data will not be misused. So those compliances are not that strictly in place, though in European country they are very much followed. Next comes the uh, policy, again about the ethical use of generative AI, then compliance of those policies, the legal and regulatory, uh, the standards which are to be followed, the compliance is to be taken care of. Innovation means we have to look into the betterment of generative AI. It is an again ever evolving emerging field. And what else? Monitoring and auditing. That means continuously we have to assess whether we are able to ensure the yeah reliability and accuracy. So next comes the technology side of the characteristic. When we say technology again, integrity means we have to ensure that the system is producing accurate result. Because when I'm taking help of generative AI, then I'm making use of the result generated by it. Maybe in some, I mean, the result is input to some other process of mine. So the integrity is important. Again, the trust, the confidence will be there only if the reliability and integrity is there. Then it should be manageable. The operations and maintenance should be simplified. End-to-end ownership should be taken for the entire life cycle. So who is the owner of the result being generated? I mean, you ask generative AI, okay, what is the easiest way for me to die? It will give you some result. Then who is the ownership of this? I mean, I'm following that and I'm maybe somebody ending the life. Then who is the ownership of this? Who is taking the responsibility? And then finally, continuous learning. These systems are regularly being improved over time by learning from new data and experiences. So, if it is being trained on real data, then certainly it is going to give you the result which are accurate in real time. So these are some top generative AI tools which are in use. This is right now a mixture. Again, I mean, some are for image, some are for text, some maybe for video. So if we talk about, I have added a slide for research also. These are very important for the faculty. I think you can maybe take a picture of this. For literature search, lit maps, it is very useful. You simply write down your research paper title. It tells you a complete network that this paper was being used or cited by whom all. So you get a complete trail. This is very useful. Similarly, elicit and research rabbits, they are used for literature review. If you have to write down the literature review, you can make use of these tools. For grammar checking and writing, Grammarly we all have been using. It used to be free of cost earlier, now it is paid. Then PaperPal is there, Hemingway is there. For paper summary, these are the tools. Scholarly, Paper Digest, Resumer. You can try and then you will get to know more features about it. Citation, Mendeley, Zotero, and Cite. Of
And
these,
there is
it's
one query.
yes, please.
How data fusion can be smartly done by using generative AI and LLM?
Data,
Fusion can be smartly done
data
by using,
fusion. Data fusion
yes,
means what exactly you are looking forward to when you talk about data fusion means what? I mean, you have data in what form?
Dr. Ravinder, can you make it clear once?
Please repeat. I mean, data is in which particular format? Please let me know first that, then I can answer. What is the format of the data?
Sounds,
Can you repeat?
sounds, ma'am.
Sound file.
Yes.
What you intend to do is you are having some sound files and what do you want now?
Text, images, and sound. Data fusion means text, images, and sound.
You have some images and you have text
Text,
and you have
images, and
sound.
sound. Yes.
So your first word is not audible. Please repeat.
Text, ma'am, text,
You have text, you have images,
images, and
and you
sound.
have sound, the audio file.
Yes. Yes.
See, for this, you would be having the apps. See, you have images and then you have sound. You create a video out of it where you have different frames and some music running behind it. This is very much easily possible with different apps available. But then when you want text also to be added, you want the text to be added in some manner, obviously, in some fashion. Yes, please. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am, I am here.
Yeah.
I'll switch on the mic for Mr. Ravindra Jogikar. He'll put
Yeah.
up his query on his own. Okay, let me just switch on the mic for Mr.
Hello,
Dr. Yeah.
hello, ma'am.
Yes, please. Yes,
Ma'am,
please.
yes, I am having one image which is inbuilt with text information as well as sound. So, is it possible that with the help of generative AI or LLM, can I make training to the system? Because my few candidates are working on that, but they are very much getting confused how it can be done. So can you please help me out? How can we do this?
Maybe you can connect with me independently because I need to understand it in detail. I mean, what exactly you are targeting. You are talking about image, then you have the text written over that, है ना? And then you
No,
have some
with
audio
the
also.
image, with the image, I can know that with the help of CNN, I can do this. For the
Yeah,
text, I can
exactly.
do with the help of ANN and RNN. But the
Yeah.
mixture of this is we are doing a data fusion type of concept
Mm-hmm.
where I can have one image with textual information and the backend there must be some sound. So at that time, I need to be apply some algorithms, but I didn't find anything else. But somebody told me that you can go for generative AI or LLM.
Should be possible. It should be as
Huh.
possible. But I will have to think. I right now, because since I have not done this, I cannot answer this immediately. But it should be possible. Maybe you can connect with me later on. Then we can discuss because I'll have to think and apply my brains how it can be made possible. With coding,
Okay, fine.
obviously, I think you must be doing it in coding using Python only.
Yes, ma'am. With the help of
है
Python, I
ना?
am using some
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of libraries as well.
Yes,
But it
yes,
is
yes.
only
I
giving the
understood.
images. It is only detecting the images, not the
Yeah,
textual information
with
at the same
CNN,
time.
yes, with CNN, it can
It is
detect the
CNN.
image.
Yeah,
It can, yes, it
yeah,
can very easily let you know maybe
yeah.
the name of the class, or I can say
Fine.
that okay, the image
But
belongs to this class.
when I have some sort of text information which is imbibed with the text image, it couldn't
Mm-hmm.
identify this images belong to that class or not. So that time again, it is giving me a bad accuracy because my
Are you
training.
having enough data for training? Do you have enough data for training? Because
Yes,
see,
yes, ma'am.
and do you have
Yes.
are you using GPUs? Because with
No,
normal
madam. We
systems,
are
I
not.
don't think so. It would be possible. See,
Actually,
CNN
in the
takes
lab,
lot of
I'm
power.
using a GPU. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
using
definitely. Where we
okay.
required GPU. So we are working
Yeah.
in the lab of NITs. In the
Okay.
Nagpur, we are having itself a VNIT, Vishwasharya National Institute of Technology. So this thing
Okay.
is available over there. So my some candidates is working over, but
Mm-hmm.
they couldn't find this solution that how could use the generative AI and LLM to solve these issues.
It should be possible, but one has to. I mean, I cannot give you the solution immediately because I have not done, honestly speaking.
Okay, ma'am.
But
Okay, fine,
it
fine,
should be
fine.
doable. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is a typical, I would say, we were talking about the different research tools
One
which can
more
be
query
used.
in the uh, chat box.
Okay, I'll check that.
Ma'am, can you specify some open source generative AI tools? The query is by Mr.
Uh,
Maheshwari M. Can you specify open source generative AI tools?
open source Gen AI tools.
Yes.
See, as such, we are using only things like ChatGPT, but you are talking about the tool which gives you the code also for the tool. Is it? what exactly does it refer to? See, we have things like ChatGPT, we have Gemini, we have Claude. Is this the context? Please write the answer. Tools for research. This is the slide that I'm sharing. That tells you see, nothing beyond that. I don't think so. Anything beyond this would be possible. Where, see, the tools which are available, you have to interact with them by giving them prompts, and then I would say getting the answer, tuning your questions, giving the proper prompt, getting the answer. So, like that, you have to make use of the tool. See, there is no tool which can give you the end-to-end complete answer. It will give you the answer in parts. You have to stitch it together, I can say, like that. So say for example, these are the tools which are AI tools, which I'm showing. When I talk about generative AI, then generative AI, you are having the things like only ChatGPT or the paid versions, I would say, because paid versions they are real time. They are giving you the answers in real time. Right. So, okay, now coming back to this, there are qualitative research to AI tools and Vivo is there. Now coming to this, say for example, I say qualitative research. I have NVivo. If I am NVivo is for qualitative. So I can do thematic analysis, I can do topic modeling. So now for this purpose, I can write my code in Python also, where using NLP, I'm feeding my data, which is, say, for example, it is of maybe 20,000 pages. Now, from that 20,000 pages, if I feed that particular text file, .txt file, to my Python program, my Python program can let me know about the uh, topic modeling, in the sense which theme has been talked the most in this 20,000 page, and within that theme what were the most important words. I'm not just talking about the word cloud, I'm talking about the theme which was discussed. That can be done. So if I make use of NVivo, it would be a GUI based. And if I want to have more better fine tuning, then I have my Python code, which is going to do the topic modeling for me. It can also going to do the sentiment analysis for me. It can also do the emotional analysis for me. And apart from, it's not just the text, it can also do the sentiment analysis for the emojis as well. So Python code, if I know Python, I have lot of power. If I use a tool as a black box, the power is less, obviously. But if I'm good in coding, with the help of coding, I can do lot of tasks using my work. So using my programming skills. So for qualitative as well as quantitative, unfortunately, Python is not written here, but for quantitative, Python is the best. It is the best, because using that you have lot of power with you. You can do hyperparameter tuning, you develop a model, you get some accuracy. If you're not happy with the accuracy, you run the model with different combinations of different arguments which the model uses, and then you get the best result. So you choose the best. Same way you can do for your this what you call it as uh, deep learning models also. There also you say, okay, you run the model maybe for 500 epochs. So out of those 500 epochs, wherever the best result was available, you stop that, or maybe you give those parameters which were giving you the best result, and then you freeze the model with those best parameter values. So like that, you have the power. Once you write the code, you are having more power. But certainly, uh, uh, this point that I have addressed, that is only for this qualitative and quantitative research part. But for rest of the four things, the literature search, the grammar, the paper summarization, which is it is saying, or citations, for this purposes, these tools are very useful. Okay, so then next comes the application. This, I think this has been discussed.
Ma'am, question is it all are open source?
These all, no, Grammarly you will have to pay. Litmaps you can use. Yes, it works. You will have to check one by one. For example, NVivo you will have to buy. It is not free of cost. R is free of cost. SPSS is paid. Tableau should be paid. NVivo you will have to buy. Mendeley is free. Mendeley I am using. R I am using. R is free. SPSS I don't use. It is, pick and drop kind of thing. So Some are paid, some are free of cost. That you will have to check one by one. See, it is like that. Grammarly, it gives you some usage free of cost. Then after that, it becomes paid. So some facility it gives to you. For example, this Chat GPT also, you used Chat GPT GPT 4.0 for running few queries. After that, it automatically switches to the downgraded version, which is 3.5. If it is free of cost. If it is paid version, it is continuously 4.0. So like that. Okay, so now moving on to the applications. Applications, I think we have discussed already with the previous speaker as well. The this it can be used for content automation. Say, for example, you want to get the summary of a video. You upload a video in ChatGPT. It will give you the summary of that particular video in few sentences. Then product design innovation, it enables the rapid prototyping. It can give you a prototype of the image of a product. Then enhance customer support. It can automate the response through AI powered virtual assistant. This is about the chatbot kind of thing only, answer bot. Then if you want a huge amount of data to be, you want to get insight into the data, then you have things like Tableau. These all are generative AI tools. IBM Watson is there. Then these are the trends which are prevailing in generative AI market. We have multimodal. Multimodal means it is able to handle different types of data. You can have generative AI for image. You can have generative AI for text. You can have generative AI for image, sorry, video, things like that. So multimodal means that. Then open source, for example, we have in Python, suppose I'm using GenAI kind of facility. So I have Hugging Face library, which I can make use of. So there are different frameworks which are available, which enable the developers to customize and make use of AI without any cost, because open source है तो वो free of cost ही है. Then generative AI adhering to a strong regulatory guideline. So these models are now aligning with GDPR, which is the data protection regulations. So this is also trending now. Then next comes bring your own AI. That means one can integrate your own AI with, I mean, you have, I mean, some part of solution with you, which you have with generated with generative AI, that can be, you can say, integrated with some other code. So the enterprises are deploying these in-house generative model. So it is like this. For example, this also I have seen that suppose the doctor, he is having the prescription of a patient, and the patient is taking the consultancy from the doctor for maybe last 15 years. So when the patient comes after a gap of 1 year with some problem which has occurred again, so the doctor has to go through all the prescriptions which the patient has brought in for the 15 years. Now the doctor wants to see, when I changed the salt from this to this, what was the impact on the blood pressure? So doctor has to really put in a lot of effort. Now if these prescriptions are all scanned and uploaded to this customized generative AI tool, in that case the doctor will simply ask, what was the impact of changing the salt from 2 milligram to 3 milligram on this patient. So immediately that particular generative AI tool will give the answer. So that is how we say it is a kind of bring your own, or I can say develop your own generative AI tool for your own particular use case. The next is AI augmented apps. So here this is nothing but a kind of AI writing assistance that you get in your email tool. Like when you are writing something, you get the words being dropped in, which helps in generating the writing the content, is automated kind of thing that you are getting. Next is AI for creativity, that daily that I have shown you, which is for artwork. Next is generative AI for hyper personalization. It is basically a kind of recommendation engine which can be made in things like e-commerce applications. Then next is the conversational AI, where you have, again, that is simple chat GPT that we are using. It is conversational. You converse, you give your viewpoint, you get the answer. Again, you give question, it gives the answer. It's your conversation, you're conversating. Then next is for scientific research. Say, for example, you are simulating some experiment, some complex data you want to analyze, you want to do some climate modeling, some drug discovery, things like that, that can also be used. And then lastly, you have human in the Gen AI loop. That means AI assisted content creation. So, I mean, again, this is also kind of conversational, but in the form of now designing being modified by the human beings. So, I think I can stop here. This is about trends. And then after that, I was about to talk about some applications and all. So, this was the important part of my presentation, I would say, which I wanted to focus upon. If you have any queries, you are welcome.
Anyone with any queries? We'll surely share the recordings. Everything would be shared. All the PPTs, recordings, session recordings, everything would be shared on the group. Any query, you can just raise up your hand. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you
It's
so
my
much
pleasure.
for a very knowledgeable session from your side.
Yeah, it's a
Thank you
pleasure
on
being
behalf of
here.
BCIIT. Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Now let me introduce another speaker for the day, Dr. Anjali S. More. She is an associate professor in the Department of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning at the Symbiosis Institute of Technology, part of Symbiosis International Deemed University. She earned her PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from the prestigious Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology, Surat, and her Master's in Computer Science Engineering from the Walchand Institute of Technology. With 23 years of experience in teaching and research, Dr. Anjali has held numerous administrative roles, including head of department, NAC and NBA coordinator. Dr. Anjali has published extensively in Scopus Indexed Web of Science and peer-reviewed international journals and conferences. Her research areas include machine learning, big data mining, imbalanced data mining, intrusion detection, and generative AI. She is currently supervising 6 PhD scholars and has guided several undergraduate and postgraduate students. She has also contributed to academia through book chapters and as a reviewer for Scopus Indexed publications. Her work has earned her 2 Best Paper Awards at Scopus Index International Conferences, as well as a Certificate of Appreciation as a Technical Program Committee member at the at the IEEE International Conference on Computing, Communication and Green Engineering in 2021. Dr. Anjali is actively involved with Savitribai Phule Pune University, serving as a paper chairman and setter, and received a certificate of appreciation for her role as course coordinator and member in designing the machine learning curriculum for the BE 2020 course under the Board of Studies in Computer Engineering in August 2023. She also regularly contributes as a reviewer for academic conferences. On behalf of BCIIT, I welcome you, ma'am, to the Faculty Development Program. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your introduction. I first want to thank uh, respected Dr. Ravi Sagar sir, FDP coordinator, Miss Sonia Batra ma'am, and Pallavi ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yeah, okay. And Pallavi ma'am, for inviting me as a and delivering a talk on role of generative models in Gen AI. So thank you for inviting me and giving me a chance to deliver a talk on this particular topic. So shall I start with sharing my presentation?
Yes, ma'am, you can start with it.
Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's
Yes,
visible.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, it is
Okay,
visible.
okay. So we will be discussing upon the topics, and many of the previous sessions covered with what exactly the generative AI and what exactly the free tools that we are going to use. Before moving ahead with the actual topics, let us have some looks upon how exactly it is again related with machine learning algorithms, how the machine learning is again the core part of generative AI that we can say as being as the various applications concerning towards generative AI. There is again a huge role of machine learning models that do deals with supervised machine learning algorithms, unsupervised machine learning algorithms, reinforcement learning algorithms, which is the major part without which we cannot work with any of the generative AI algorithms. So as we are going to deal with data handling, data pre-processing, data cleaning, and then we have to apply with actual implementation model for processing on that, and we are going to get along with the actual predicted or actual enhanced outcome. So that is before moving towards that, I just want to elaborate. There are a lot of numerous applications which are dealing with like machine learning algorithms, and here is a small sample map related with some of the artificial intelligence techniques which are dealing with all categories of numerous application. Like we can just start with the machine learning. While we are dealing with machine learning, it deals with some supervised learning techniques, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning, semi-supervised learning. So based upon the nature of data that is going to be imported at the initial stage, we are going to deal with that particular data. Like in supervised learning, we are dealing with numerous classification algorithms. Uh, and again, depending upon the data, which data is going to be imported to the particular model, we are going to start with the selection of that particular data model. Suppose we are having the data set with multiple attributes. So in that case, we need to deal with some feature extraction. So feature extraction, data pre-processing, removal of noise from the provided data set, that we need to process in the very first stage. We have to work with that data, we have to clean that data, and then we have to process it for the training, then the model selection, then we can do application of various classification algorithms. Either it may be traditional algorithms, or depending upon the data, depending upon the targeted outcome, we need to select many hybrid algorithms also. In every situation, it is not we are not getting the targeted outcome with a traditional algorithm. So we have to combine along with some parallelization techniques, along with the classification model and supervised learning model. We have to combine with some of the hybridization techniques. So that again dealing with the machine learning algorithms, I consider that many of the participants are a lot, or I can consider that all of the participants are dealing with machine learning, and they are dealing with lot many applications in current trends. Many of them are expertise in this particular uh, machine learning applications, and they have handled such kind of data for experimentation, for analysis, and all other applications. There are a lot of variety of applications related with this artificial intelligence. We do have some discussion on the broad topics here. Computer vision related, we can deal with the image recognition, object detection, image segmentation. Then, while dealing with the text processing, we have to use the natural language processing algorithms. While we are dealing with some of the generative AI techniques, and we want to deal with large language models, so we have to apply the concept of deep learning. Then, if we are going to move towards the optimization techniques, so we have to apply swarm intelligence techniques, cognitive computing, knowledge graphs. Then we are having game playing, recommendation system. For example, suppose in the recommendation system based upon the song data, if someone wants the recommended songs based upon the provided inputs, so in that case we have to work with unsupervised machine learning algorithm in this recommended system. Then again, this is the sample map of some of the real-time applications which are actually useful for the implementation, experimentation, or many of the research domain, which is attracting the young researchers towards development. Along with this application, some hybridization techniques and generative AI techniques. And in the further section, we are going to discuss about what exactly the different types of generative models that are specifically leading towards based upon what kind of data we are going to provide and what kind of techniques are actually useful for the implementation and dealing with that variety of data that we are going to import as an uh, input for the processing for that particular model. Now, I hope I consider that many of the applications are well familiar with the all listeners, and many of you maybe have some research domain or you have implemented already in the particular specific region. So these are nothing but some of the artificial intelligence no, applications that we can say in various domains, various popular domains, which are now, again, we can consider healthcare domain applications and many more. This is a short list of some of the sample applications or sample domains related applications. Now, moving towards the generative AI, I no need to elaborate much more as the previous speaker already elaborated. It is nothing but the branch of artificial intelligence or which will focus on generation of the new content, and in the new content we can consider the generation of the output in the form of text, images, music, videos, and many more. That depends upon either unimodal or multimodal data generation. And at this stage I just want to take the question which was there in the previous session only, related with the diffuse they are having working with the combined data. That is, they want to work with some audio data and some textual data. So in that case they can apply the conversion of audio to the text image and text to audio image. So with the help of that they can deal with the multimodal techniques, so which will be helpful for them. I think this is the answer related with some the previous question, that is related with diffusion of that particular multimodal data. Now we will move towards the basic things related with the generative AI, which is nothing but the innovative technology. I will just briefly go through this because already many speakers elaborated on this. That is, this innovative technology will focus more on the text generation based upon that images, including images, text data, then music data, that is audio data generation, with the help of various data models that we will look out in which step, what exactly the phases, what are the different applications of that particular data model, that we will look in the upcoming session only. This is the brief picture, or that we can say the mapping between this major core domain, which is high demanding domain that we can say in today's trend. That is, artificial intelligence is basically we are going to use the theory along with the methods to build that machine based models, which will think like using that neural network concept, which will think like as an humans, and it is going to focus on the accurate results. And machine learning, as we have discussed, it is nothing but the we are going to deal with application of different algorithms to predict more accurate results based upon the inputs provided and the selection of methods. And based upon the inputs, that means we are going to use different inputs at different stages. For example, if we are going to import the data file with multivariate data sets, multivariate data attributes, in that case, we need to find out some confidence value. We need to apply some feature extraction techniques, and then we need to extract some important features from your dataset, and then you have to process on that. And as in the previous section only, the speaker highlighted upon the imbalance and balanced data set. If there is imbalanced data sets you are going to use, in that case, ensemble methods will give you more accurate results, and which has been proven by various researchers with strong, stringent experimental analysis that if you are going to apply um, ensemble methods on imbalanced data set, it will give you more accurate results as compared to the traditional methods. So, for example, random forest is there, ensemble learning, AdaBoost is there. So many more ensemble methods are more accurately predict the results in case of machine learning. So deep learning is again, uh, it is the core important domain that we can say, which is going to be used based upon the artificial neural networks, and there is a major role of transformer to allow the computers to perform the complex tasks, and based upon that transformers task we are going to solve that particular problem, and we are going to achieve the results related with that particular domain. And generative AI, as we discussed, it is going to be dealing with all kind of data generation, that may be text, audio, images, video, or code based contents based upon the pre-training process. And here, after discussion, after this all basic core domain, we will just have a quick look on this, what exactly the prawns of generative AI. And then after that, we will move towards the models, what exactly the different types of models. So as discussed and justified by many of the um, explanation, that generative AI, based upon that multiple features, it will help for the quick product development based upon the data availability or the data generation in particular domain, either in your unimodal or multimodal case, based upon the data or the application which you are going to import for that particular model. And due to that only, there is the improved customer experience, and ultimately the product employability is going to be enhanced due to the use of this quick product development and improved customer performance. Again, it is going to be more useful for handling the complex data, and as the basic nature indicates, it is more competent in generating the new data, which is nothing but the generation of generation of AI content that based upon the multimodal data. And the last, we can say, it will enhance the machine learning algorithms for improved performance, and which will lead towards the more accurate results. With the help of that particular data generation, we are leading with the more accurate results. For example, suppose you are dealing with some of the undersampled data set. So in that case, if there is the data generation with the oversampling techniques, in that case, the minority data sample class will not be ignored by the model, and it is given equal weightage for the pre-processing, processing, and model training. And obviously, ultimately, you are going to get the more accurate results with the help of the data balancing, with the help of the generation of particular data. In so these we can say the some of the major pros of generative AI. And along with this, we do have, uh, we can just say in based upon the data, again, there may be possibility of limited accuracy, biasness, and lack of transparency. That are nothing but the cons of Gen AI. Now, we will move towards uh, different models. Come, there are around uh, six, seven, broadly we can say 7 to 8 models based upon the nature of the data generation. So we will go one by one. The first one is nothing but the generative adversarial network. So basically, generative adversarial network, which will nothing but it is going to use generator and discriminator, or we will discuss the stepwise explanation of the same. So what exactly generative AI gen model will do? Generative AI will consist of a generator which will create synthetic data from the noise, and discriminator distinguish the real data from the fake data. So there is a major role of the generator and discriminator to deal with the synthetic data generation, and discriminator will distinguish what exactly the real data and what is the fake data in the generated data. So the role with the combination of these two, this model this will train the competitively complex data, and it will improve data quality. So that is nothing but the first data model that we can say, and the basic nature deals with the role of this generator and discriminator. Adversarial training is again one of the tasks that is related with the first model. And we will just go through the applications where these kinds of models can be used. So the image for the image generation, data augmentation for the machine learning, video synthesis, scientific simulation in physics and medicine. So these kinds of data models can be used. And as based upon the this kind of data, we do face some of the challenges related with this data model. That is nothing but the training instability based upon the image or data or some video synthesis data. There may be some kind of stability. That challenge may be there in the first type of this data model, and there may be possibility of difficult quality evaluation based upon the data model. And with this model, with the help of this deep convolutional GAN and cycle GAN and style GAN, these models can be used as an advanced model related with the first model. So this is nothing but our first model that we can say the generative adversarial network. Now moving towards the second model, that is nothing but the transformer based model. Now basic aim or basic nature of this particular model is nothing but it is the type of AI model. Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Okay, okay. The type of AI model from the long range dependencies between the words, and it makes them powerful for the task like machine translation, and it is based suitable for the text generation and the content code generation. So in detail, we will just go through this transformer based model. So coming to this one, encode like in the previous one in Gen AI model, the first AI model, we are going to use uh, we are going to use this generator and discriminator. Here, we are going to use encoder and decoder structure with the self attention mechanism to process on the sequential data, and it will focus on capturing the long dependencies efficiency. So that is nothing but the basic nature of this transformer based model. So based upon this uh, data long range dependencies, here are some of the key components of this particular transformer based model that is nothing but the self attention, positional encoding, and the feed forward layers. So what exactly it will, what in which process it will work on? So it is nothing but it will focus on the relationship between the words in that particular long sequence. Again, it will focus on maintaining the word order information, and next, into the next level, it will apply transformation for enhancement of the learning in the long range dependencies in that particular data. And the applications, as it is dealing with this encoder and decoder techniques and the data, sequential data, the applications are related with this transformer based models we can use in NLP tasks for the translation, summarization, and sentimental analysis. Um, we can use this particular transformer based model in vision tasks for the image classification and object detection, for multimodal task also, in which we are going to use variety of data. It may be textual data, sound data, or image data. So this is the basic nature of this transformer based model, that we are going to use that sequential data which is dealing with like NLP related applications for various text processing related applications, as we discussed. And the advantages is nothing but it is going to handle um, the complex data effectively, that we can say. And parallel processing is also available. Parallel processing is also possible, and it will train your model on maximum speed. So that is nothing but the second transformer based model. So moving towards the next, that is diffusion model. So this diffusion model will generate, as we have just discussed earlier session also. Uh, it is used for learning to reverse gradual noise adding process, starting from pure noise to reconstruct the desired output. So whenever we are considering importing of data in the first phase of any of the model processing, you need to think about the noise removal or dealing with that particular noise. The basic nature of this diffusion model is based upon that only. Uh, and the process is nothing but it is dealing with two major process, that is forward process and reverse process. So the first process, forward process, will add noise to the data in the smaller steps, and the reverse process is it will learn to remove the noise step by step from the realistic data. And it is going to be applied in the image synthesis applications, in video generation, text to image, task related data generation. So that are the application areas where we can focus on the use of diffusion model in AI. And as the nature indicates and as the process indicates, the advantages are related with the better diversity as compared to the first model. We can say it is going to handle uh, image synthesis, video generation data, along with the noise handling also. So obviously, it is going to give us high quality outcome based upon the diverse data as compared to the existing model. And as it is dealing with the noise handling characteristics or noise handling characteristics, so it is going to stable the training process with adversarial competition. So we can say that this diffusion model can be more optimized for the faster sampling process, as it is related with the handling multimodal tasks, like we are going to use various type of data in this diffusion model. Now moving ahead with the next model, so that is nothing but the variational autoencoders. As the name itself indicates, this model is used for encoding the data into the compact representation, and again decode that data back into the encoding. After that, we are decoding that particular data back and enabling the creative content generation by interpolating with this latent space feature. So, and it is based suitable for image, audio, and video content creation. This VAE model, that is variational autoencoder models, are more suitable for handling image, audio, and video content creation while you are dealing with some of the photorealistic applications or that applications which are dealing with that multimodal data kind of application. So coming to that here, as if we want to separate out what exactly the task of that particular encoder, it is nothing but it is mapping input data to the latent space distribution, and the decoder will generate the data from the sampled latent space. And the applications, as we have discussed, for the image generation, reconstruction, data compression, and anomaly detection. In anomaly detection, by providing that particular data which having anomalies, we can detect the anomaly data with the help of some of the unsupervised machine learning algorithms. For example, we are going to use different unsupervised uh, applications for handling that, for detecting that anomalies which is present in that particular data. Based upon this nature of encoder and decoder and some of the advanced support for the data handling of new data space, that is latent space and other features. So here it is going to provide us more stable training and probabilistic output, which is better for the latent representation. And as every model having limitation, it may we may face some challenge for balancing the reconstruction accuracy while we are dealing with the latent space regularization. So that is nothing but the VAE model in generative AI. Uni model is the next type of model that we can say, as uh, this model will focus on generating data with a single domain, such as image, or it may consider text, using the techniques like auto-regressive models, providing high quality output with that particular specific domains. So uni model, and the next one is the multimodal. It combines different type of data modalities. As discussed with the previous example, if you are combining sound with the text data, then the mix type of data is there. So in that, you have to use the synthesis techniques for conversion of that particular data into the compatible format. So that uni model, uh, we will focus on this particular concept. So here, it will focus on generating data with a single modality for such as text, image, or audio, which we can consider as AI data. And here, examples are nothing but the text generation. For example, GPT series, image generation. So style GAN may be one of the example of this unimodal data. Audio synthesis, WaveNet is another again example of this uh, unimodal. Applications are nothing but, as discussed, related with the text-based applications, that is language translation, chatbots. Then we do have image creation, audio related applications are there, which can handle the text-based, image-based, or audio-based data that we are going to use as a type of data, but the nature is unimodal. And the advantages are nothing but based upon the nature of data only, the simplified training process for the specific modalities, and it is going to lead towards the quality outcome as it is related to a single domain due to the feature of unimodality. It is leading towards the high quality outcome. And the challenge is nothing but, as it is related with the one type of data, so we can consider it as an uh, limit, or we can consider as a limitation of this particular unimodal feature. moving towards the multimodal AI in generative AI. So, as the name indicates, it is dealing with the data which deals with the multiple modalities such as text, images, audio, and video. So, in that case, uh, we need to deal with this multimodal generative AI models. For example, text to image generation, text and image understanding in particular clip example. So these are some of the examples which are dealing with multimodal data handling. So for like combining audio along with the text and images and generating the multimodal data which is required as an outcome of your application, which is supporting with that multimodality feature. And the applications here, we can say that text to image or video generation or multimodal search engines, cross-modal tasks like captioning or speech to image recognitions are there. And as it is going to handle different modality data, it is supporting diverse data type. It can be advantage of this multimodal generative AI, and it enables interactive AI system. And here we may face, due to the variety of that particular data, we may face high computational space or high computational time may require. That is one of the challenge that we face in multimodal data handling in generative AI. Now, we will move towards the next model, that is large language model. So, large language model are nothing but it is going to be, as the name indicates, it is going to model the models based upon the massive text data generation to understand and generate human-like language. So that is nothing but the large language model, as it is going to handle that massive data generation along with the features which we have just discussed. And the applications are nothing but the text generation, summarization, translation, and various chatbot applications. Code generation is can be also example of application of this large language model. Sentimental analysis. For that particular application, we are going to use large language models with this feature of handling human-like language. And due to this particular feature, we can see there are context awareness related applications that it deals with the large language models, and it handles diverse NLP tasks with the minimal fine tuning process. So that are nothing but the advantages of large language model here. And the challenges is nothing but as related with the previous model also. Here also we do have high computational cost is required, along with the data requirement of variety of data, and it may again face inaccuracy in the outcome based upon the data input that you are going to provide. In some situation it may happen, so that may be one of the challenge of this large language model. And the last model that we need to discuss about, that is neural radiance field model. So it is nothing but one of the generative model. It is dealing with the 3D generative model that we can say, which will represents by mapping 3D coordinates to the radiance. That is with the light intensity and the density, and related with that 3D data, we are going to use this neural radiance field model, and which is specifically going to be used for viewing the synthesis from that particular 2D images, 3D construction scenes, virtual and augmented reality content generation, content creation. This neural radiance model is specifically again can be used for VR and AR application for the content creation. So based upon this multi-dimensional feature, we can say that the major advantage of this particular model is nothing but it is going to provide, whenever you are dealing with the high dimensional data, it is going to provide high quality outcome. It may require only 2D images for training process. So that are nothing but the advantages of neural radiance field model. And the challenges is nothing but due to that particular multi-dimensional data, there may be computational expensive rendering may be there. That is challenge or limitation we can say. And in some of the dynamic scenes or some of based upon that particular environment that is going to be provided as an input for that particular 3D dimensional images, there may be some of the limited performance challenge may occur in this neural radiance field model. So that is nothing but some of the limitation of this neural RF model, and it is going to be used for specifically handling 3D and 2D image construction. So that are the applications of this particular model. And for the detailing, you may again refer say this some of the applications which are highlighted by the previous speaker also based upon this GAN. Then as we just discussed as variational autoencoders, there is many applications for conversion of text to image models, style GAN, that are subcategories that we can say, which are the basic model that we have just gone through. Here are some of the subcategories or subtypes it may deals with depending upon the data inputs that is going to be provided, and based upon the model which data is going to be generated along with that particular content generation. Again, RNN is also there. And this is I just quickly just focus on this there are a lot many companies which are going to, this is one of the case study that we can say. We can't say that is the part of actual this model, but the part of this AI or generative AI related some of the tools that are going to be used for some of the case studies. For example, for the top, this is nothing but the 8 legal AI companies to watch in 2024, which are going to use this particular AI based models for handling this AI applications. For example, my case IQ, then Smith AI. These are so paid services that, but these are going to handle AI powered virtual AI powered applications, that we can say the actual case study. If some of the researchers are working on the law based application, law recommendation system, some of the actual real data sets they are using as a their data set for the research work. So in that case, these tools, AI tools may be useful. That is Smith AI, Clear Brief, Law Toolbox, case studies. So these are the different tools that can be used for some of the case studies. So sample case study I just included here, that we can focus for optimization of that particular task. We can use this different AI tools as an case study. These are nothing but already somebody elaborated on this. Gen AI companies with foundational models already elaborated on this based upon that nature of that particular data generation foundation models. These are different listing of that particular companies that is going to be used. And this may be quite interesting that in the upcoming time, what what is the what will be the development in the AI. So this we can't say that much more accurate, but it is what the based upon the present studies. This is nothing but the statics of generative AI or AI in the upcoming days. So there may be 15% of new application will generate content automatically without human intervention by 2027. So that is what the prediction based upon the current statics in the field of generative AI and the present case studies. Based upon that, we can say that this is the statics in the future. Generative AI will be building 10% of all data and 20% of test data for consumer facing use cases by 2025. So that may be the upcoming statistics in the coming days. So with this particular future details. I just want to conclude my session, and I thank organizers for giving me the chance to present a small talk on this particular generative AI models. So I will be open for any questions from your side.
Yes, any questions, please? If you have any queries, please ask.
And I think there is one query in the previous session. Storm AI is also one
Ma'am,
of the.
there is one query for
Hmm.
prediction how Gen AI works. Sentimental analysis. Are these tools open sources?
Some of the tools are open sources like Storm AI. Storm AI is open source. With the help of some Gmail registration only, you can create your account. And if you want to do some literature analysis within on a particular topic, suppose you want to check out the text processing application, so you can do that. Write your application along with what exactly the problem statement. It will provide you the statics of suppose you are ranging it from 2024 only, so it will give you the statics of 2024 based upon that literature along with the resource, along with the reference link and all, and that is free AI tool that you can use.
Another question is, can you please mention this tool
Mhm.
website if
Mhm.
possible?
Okay,
Tool
ma'am. I will
website.
just. Okay, okay. You can just type in Google also Storm AI, and you can just register. Or I will provide with the organizers. Organizers will share in WhatsApp group also.
Okay, ma'am. Any
Uh,
other query? Yes, please. Any other query? Thank you very much, ma'am, for your valuable and informative session. One question
Thank
is
you,
there:
ma'am.
how do you differentiate and
Hmm.
exhibit in
Hmm.
thesis DL with generative AI? Difference between
Okay.
neural radiance and neural network. Two
Neural.
questions are there.
Okay. Neural radiance and
First question is, how do you differentiate and exhibit in thesis DL with generative AI?
okay. As just we discussed with that. See, we do have just focused in this neural. The last model I think we have discussed in that particular neural one, neural radiance field. So basically what exactly it is going to handle, it is related with the high dimensionality data that is for specific application, that we can say 3D related scene construction and the other applications which are related with that generative model, which is related with the 3D coordinates related to the radiance, and again it is related with that light intensity or density, that we can say. And the deep I think deep learning related with that deep learning, as we have discussed, that is it is related with that deep learning based model. We are having that human like brain like models, and that we are going to map based upon your data, what exactly the data that you are going to import. Based upon that you have to select that particular model. There are again lot many applications based upon that particular data. Which data you are going to use, that is more important again.
And next question is difference between neural radiance and the neural network.
As I just told you, that is neural radiance is related with the intensity and density based data, And the neural network is nothing but you are going to use that different feed forward network based up related with neuron like structure. That is, we are going to use neural network like back propagation model and all. If you are going to use that parallel processing with the help of that neural networks, then you have to decide how many number of epochs is required to train your model. So that is nothing but the actual behavioral difference that we can see related with that neural network.
Any other query? Please, if you have any query, please ask. I think they don't have any queries. Okay.
Mail ID they are asking me.
Please ask if you have any query. One question is deep learning and Gen AI. He has written only deep learning and Gen AI.
But I think we elaborated in the previous
Yes,
question
already,
to
yes, ma'am. Already you
elaborated.
have
I think.
explained. Okay. I think we will stop here for today's session. Thank you very much, ma'am, Anjali ma'am, and Kavita ma'am, for your informative and valuable session. Definitely, it will help us. And tomorrow, please fill the feedback form that I have shared the link on the WhatsApp group also, and in this chat box also I have shared the link. So please fill the feedback form.
Ma'am, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Ma'am, variational auto encoder, basically, it is a generative AI technology.
It is one of the type of variational data handling model that we can see.
Okay.
Huh.
Ma'am, actually, I have used the auto encoder
Okay.
basically for my time series data set uh,
Okay.
for the feature extraction purpose.
Okay.
In this session, you
Hmm.
have used the
Hmm.
variational autoencoder. Then how
I
can I use the variational autoencoder for my time series data set if I'm doing the
uh,
prediction?
okay. If you are doing prediction,
Yeah.
sir, basically, frankly speaking, so I haven't referred that time series data for my experimentation work. I specifically used for the feature extraction and all. I have used multivariate data sets that may be of binary or multi-class data set. And for that, I have used various feature extraction techniques. For example, linear regression and PCA, dimension reduction techniques, and all. And for time series, I think you have used that particular date, but variational networks, no?
Yes, ma'am.
So clearly speaking about, I haven't have that particular experience of handling time series data. So I would say that you will be more expert on that because I haven't used that particular time series data for experimentation anywhere else. I
Uh,
just elaborated, and for
okay.
this generative AI also, I haven't experimented it, but I started taking interest into particular this generative AI. Basically, I have worked much more in machine learning algorithms, sampling based and classification algorithms, and you would be more experienced about that time series data analysis because as compared to the traditional data, handling time series is quite a tedious task because it will again depend upon what kind of data is going to be important and how exactly the model is going to come up with the particular outcome. So it will be more to learn from you too.
Okay. Ma'am, one basic thing. When we talk
Hmm.
about the generative AI,
Hmm.
matlab, in the definition, it tells the generates new text and audio or images like. And
Yes, sir.
when we work on the time series, so basically, matlab, my
Hmm.
working is based on the supervised learning. And
Okay.
so it means that generative AI matlab, will not work on the supervised learning way.
Sir, as per as the experimentation and my experience of handling multiple data set or both of the techniques, supervised and unsupervised, whenever you are having the knowledge about the act, what we can say the classes in advance, what are the categories, what are the different classes, in that case only supervised learning will work. And if you are not well known with the unlabeled data, that specific difference that we can say, if you are going to handle unlabeled data, obviously unsupervised learning model will give you more accurate result. For example, clustering algorithms will give you more accurate result for handling unlabeled data. Supervised, it is going to handle with the labeled data only.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Anjali ma'am, for your valuable and informative lecture on generative AI.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
The link for the
participants.
feedback is already been shared on the group. Please fill the feedback every day.
May I leave
To
now?
mark your attendance. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you to all
Ah,
the participants.
thank you,
Thank you
Sonia,
to
ma'am.
all the speakers. Thanks a lot. Thank you, ma'am, for the invaluable session. Thanks a lot, everyone. Meet you all tomorrow again at 6 o'clock in the evening with another valuable sessions. Thank you so much from Team BCIIT. Good night.